Welcome to Psalms chapter 7. This one is a psalm of David, but it's a little bit different. The actual term they use in here is the Shiggaion of David. What is a Shiggaion of David? It's a poem, but super emotional. It's intense emotion. It's more than just a poem. There's a lot of feeling and emotion that the author puts into this. As best as we can tell, that's what that means. Now, this one is actually about a person. So it says here that it is something he's saying unto the Lord. So again, David used a lot of song and dance to commune with God as part of his prayers, as we've seen in the other psalms he's written. This is David talking to God about the words of a person named Cush, who is a Benjamite. So if you remember, Judah. Remember, there was the northern kingdom, the southern kingdom. Judah, which was the southern kingdom, was Judah and Benjamin, the two tribes that were inhabited in Jerusalem and around that area. So Cush the Benjamite comes from the tribe of Benjamin. Who is this Cush person? We don't really know. So some people think Cush is a word for Saul, who was the king that hated David and sought to kill him. Saul's dad's name was Kish, so maybe that's close to Cush. But he kind of derides this Cush person, and David in all of his other writings never derided Saul. He lamented Saul's decisions, but he never derided Saul. So that might not stick to say that. So Cush means black as well. So maybe this was a servant or somebody who was, they were a spy. They were somebody who was spying on David and reporting everything back to Saul, which we do have actually in, I believe, 2 Samuel, some information. There's a short story, probably just one verse really, that says that Saul was being informed of David's whereabouts when Saul sent part of his army out to basically just find David and murder him, get rid of him, basically. So it could be that person that's that go-between, the spy that is helping Saul keep tabs on David. Could be it. So let's read about this and learn more here. Verse 1, O Lord my God, in thee do I put my trust. Save me from all them that persecute me and deliver me. Lest he tear my soul like a lion, rending it in pieces while there is none to deliver. So David is asking for relief, asking for help to get this Cush person, whoever they are, out of the way, basically, before he ruins David's life. Verse 3, O Lord my God, if I have done this, if there be iniquity in my hands, if I have rewarded evil unto him that was at peace with me, yea, I have delivered him that without cause is mine enemy. Let the enemy persecute my soul and take it. Yea, let him tread down my life upon the earth and lay mine honor in the dust. Selah. So he says basically, if I have done this person wrong, give me justice. Mete justice out on me to recompense him. If I've done him wrong, let me pay the price with my life, basically, is what he's saying here. He uses other words, Selah, and we've seen this in other previous Psalms as well. The word Selah we really don't know exactly what it means. It's kind of like through the Greek, it's mainly translated as interlude. So Selah could mean a pause or an interlude or an opportunity to ponder what was just said before we move on to the next thought. So think about that when we use that word Selah. So that's kind of like, here's my thoughts, think about it, and then I'm going to move into another thought here in a minute. Verse 6, Arise, O Lord, in thine anger, lift up thyself because of the rage of mine enemies, and awake for me to the judgment that thou hast commanded. So he's asking God to fight his battles, to help him survive and to get rid of the enemies that he's experiencing in his life. Verse 7, So shall the congregation of the people compass thee about. For their sakes, therefore, return thou on high. The Lord shall judge the people. Judge me, O Lord, according to my righteousness and according to mine integrity that is in me. O let the wickedness of the wicked come to an end, but establish the just. For the righteous God trieth the hearts and reigns. So again, judgment. Pass judgment on me if I have been wicked. Pass judgment on the wicked. Help the righteous to be better. Verse 10, my defense is of God, which saveth the upright in heart. God judgeth the righteous, and God is angry with the wicked every day. If he turn not, he will whet his sword. He hath bent his bow and made it ready. So he's saying here that God and in his judgment is coming upon us. If we are righteous, he's going to help us. If we are wicked, he's going to be upset with us and unhappy with what we've done. Whetting his sword means blood, running us through, killing us with it. He hath bent his bow and made it ready. Bending his bow means he has drawn it back. He has got the arrow ready to shoot at us, at the wicked, basically, is what it comes down to. In fact, verse 13, he continues on, he hath also prepared for him the instruments of death. He ordained his arrows against the persecutors. So he has said, if you go against me, you will be persecuted. You're going, if you fight my people, if you break my commandments, I will fight against you. I will bring my forces to go after you. He is prepared and ready at a moment's notice to strike for against those wicked. Verse 13, he hath also prepared for him, I just read that one. Verse 14, behold, he travaileth in iniquity, and hath conceived mischief, and brought forth falsehood. He made a pit and digged it, and is fallen into the ditch which he hath made. So this is again talking about the wicked, not God, but the wicked people. They travaileth with iniquity, they have conceived mischief, they've brought forth falsehood. They're lying to people. They are manipulating things for their benefits. They are causing problems for other people. They made a pit. Why do you make a pit? It's a trap. He digged a pit, but he fell into it. He fell into his own trap, basically. Verse 16, his mischief shall return upon his own head, and his violent dealing shall come down upon his own pate. Now, verse 16 is basically the definition of karma. What goes around comes around. You're trying to ruin the lives of others. You're trying to hurt other people, and it's going to come back and hurt you instead. You're going to get caught. You're trying to accuse somebody of a sin, but yet you are going to be found guilty of that sin later. Verse 17, I will praise the Lord according to his righteousness, and will sing praise to the name of the Lord Most High. So David is saying, that's not me. I'm not one of these wicked people. I'm striving to be better, basically. So a lot of good information in there on understanding the ideas of when we are righteous, when we keep those commandments, God does bless us and help us and prosper us. When we don't, we have judgment coming upon us. Some of it is an initial judgment because there's always consequences to our choices. So when we commit sin, we lose the Spirit with us. Well, that loss of Spirit from committing sin means we have less influence of God in our life, which means we'll be encouraged more by Satan to commit more sin, which means we keep going down this road, and it means that we end up in a situation where justice will be meted against us and we will be destroyed because of our wickedness. It's kind of what he's getting at here. We're going to be fought against by God. His laws, his rules are like the arrows, and they're going to pierce us. Not so much that he just wants to shoot us, but because our choices put ourselves in the target, basically. So let's jump over to chapter 8, continue to learn more.